All right, welcome back. It has been a minute since I have done a watch video. So my buddy Joseph sent this Formex Reef GMT over to me with a box of other knives and goodies to one, talk about and share with you. Two, allow me to check it out because Formex is a company that I have seen at shows before. I've talked to their owners at the Wind Up Watch event in San Francisco a 3 years ago. And I did a video on one early on in the channel that had a really nice carbon fiber case that I kind of sort of wish when I had the opportunity to buy it that I did. I think it was the right move not to buy it because it was super lightweight. And I've learned that I like a little bit of heft on the wrist. Okay. So I'm super excited to have been able to check this out. And coincidentally, it is for sale. So I will put the price down below in the description if you are interested. Just in case we change the price up, I don't want to mention it here and then you go look there and it's different or whatever, right? That's why I generally don't name the price during the video, because in the description, we can just change it if it doesn't sell. I'm also going to probably post it on Facebook and whatnot, but you know, whatever. If you're interested, let me know. Now, the beauty of this, you see two different bezels. One of the beauties of this watch is it has interchangeable bezels. Now, granted, on any given watch, you can change the bezel. Okay, it's a simple thing. And I have another watch over here, the Omega Planet Ocean. You can get in there and change the bezel. Like it's a thing. You're not going to really do it on higher end watches, but like Seikos and things like that, you can always change the bezel. It's some work and you know whatnot. Whereas here, you don't need nothing but your finger. You literally just dig in there with your fingernail. Didn't even really need my fingernail that time. You pull it off and you pop the new one on. It doesn't matter where you put it. You just snap it back on and you have a bidirectional bezel. Now it's a Batman bezel. Okay? Or you get the green with the rose gold or BGW9. Oh, no, sorry. This one is the one that is not lumed. This one is the one that is lumed bezel. And we'll show you that as we go along. This is rose gold numerals. Okay? So, I think that is a cool feature in and of itself. You can just buy multiple different bezels to match with whatever you're wearing, whatever you're doing, and away you go. Super slick. Okay, a couple of other things that are really slick about this watch is there is a toolless micro adjust here. Kind of push this down and it ratchets out. And it gives you a bunch of different options there. You can see that little track. So you can just kind of go click, kind of ratchet in, click, click, click. For me, I need it all the way in. Really what I needed to do is take a link out and then adjust that micro out a little bit, because on my 7 1/4 inch wrist, let's just show you that right now, this is a little big for me. Okay, let me zoom out. On my 7 1/4 inch wrist, I like them loose, but I don't necessarily like them this loose. Okay, I did wear this one day. As loose as it is, I just wore it because I didn't really want to spend the time. And because it's for sale, I didn't want to change the links and all of that, just in case I scratched it or something like that, right? So I left it the way it is, but there you can see it on my 7 1/4. If it were tighter, it would work better. But for me, I would just need to pull out one link and then adjust that micro a little bit, okay? Since it is for sale, we'll show you there is some desk diving marks there on the clasp. No big deal. They look worse than they are. You can't really feel them or anything like that. Other than that, this watch is in a really nice shape. Now, it does come with this green bezel. You can get the Batman bezel separately if you want. If not, you can just get the one. Sapphire crystal on the case back and on the front with AR coating. Okay. Looks great outside. And this is a GMT. This particular watch allows you to do 3 different time zones. Now, it is a different type of GMT than mine. Mine is what they call a true GMT or a traveler's GMT. This one is an office GMT. Now, this one's not set. I just literally took it out of the watch box, wound it up, and got it moving. What the main difference is, when I go to move this, I can change. I have no quick set date, but my hour hand jumps. My normal hour hand. That's how you adjust the date. Goes to 26, goes back to 25. Okay? You can go forwards and backwards with this all day long, no problem. Okay? If I set this down and we go over to the Formex, this one, normal position, it just pops out. You wind it, pull it out 1, move it backwards, and you're going to you affect the date, move it forward, and you are jumping the GMT hand. Okay, so if we set it like this, we are now tracking normal time at 120, or what is that, 8:20? 7:20 at night, somewhere. And then our third time zone, we would move this to put your pointer at like this hour. You know, if you're 2-hour offset, then you would put this with this, and then I'm totally getting that wrong, I'm sure. It sounded way better in my head. I don't do GMT stuff, okay? I'm not that bright. I don't monitor multiple time zones. I don't need to monitor 3. But what you do is you use this bezel and you offset the time that way. So you could do 3 time zones if you so needed with this one, okay? And you pull this back out again, you rotate it forward, and you're not going to change the date. You can go around and around for hours. So these are more for, and I'm not a GMT expert. I own that one GMT Omega just because I thought it was cool, and I love that watch. What they call the office GMTs are more for the people that are not traveling. If you say, for me, I live on the West Coast. My best friend lives in Mountain Time, 1 hour ahead. I can just keep track of that. My partner at work is in Central Time, so 2 hours ahead. And my youngest son lives on the East Coast, 3 hours ahead. Generally, you could keep track of that. If you really wanted to, and somebody was in London, let's say, you could set the GMT for that London time, and that's it. And you just monitor normal time and London time, and away you go. This one is more for the guy who is jet setting between time zones and wants to just quickly adjust front or back that hour hand and be like, oh, okay, well, it's 1:30 right now. I just landed in New York. It's now 4:30 and you're good to go, done. Didn't have to hack it, didn't have to change it. Off you go. When you head back home tomorrow, boom, you're back to normal. Okay? And then this one always references your home time. That's how this one's going to work. That's how I use it when I do travel. Sometimes I take this when I travel, sometimes I don't. It just depends. All right, so now that I've totally screwed you up on the 3 time zone thing, let's just talk about the specs of this thing. 42 millimeter case, okay? 42 millimeters across. The lug to lug, which also is another nifty little trick. Let me get through some specs and I'll show you the cool trick with the bracelet. The lug-to-lug is typically just here at the end of the case. However, the way the bracelet works is it's a little bit past the case. So I measured all the way out here at the flat spot at 53 millimeters. The lug width is 22 millimeters. However, because of the trick, you really have to use Formex bracelets. Okay. Overall thickness is 11.3 millimeters. It is a sapphire crystal, as I mentioned before. This is a Sellita SW330-2 GMT movement with about a 56-hour power reserve, 300-meter water resistance, 8-millimeter crown, which is actually a really good size. It doesn't feel too small. It's easily manipulated around the crown guards, and it just works. The winding on this is a little, it feels like you're doing nothing. So it's almost a little odd. I'm almost like, what's wrong? Is it broken? Is it like it's so smooth. Push it back in to screw it down. All right. So it weighs in at 5.9 ounces. Again, like I've said, I'm not a drug dealer. I weigh in ounces, not grams. So you can do the math if you like. All right. So just like the quick adjustment here with no tools, taking the bracelet on and off is also toolless. You just get your finger in there and you push it down on the ridges. And there you go. It just retracts the spring bar. You can see it there. And it's just that easy. It's like that on their rubber straps. It's on that like that on their leather straps. It's a better look at the case back without the bracelet in the way. So it makes it really quick and easy if you are into changing bracelets. If I can get this back in, you kind of line it up, push it in, let go, and then give it a little tug and a wiggle and a jiggle to make sure it's locked in. You would hate to then put it on and go about your day. So let us get the UV light out here. There is pretty good lume. I am disappointed that there is no lume on the green bezel. Okay. That's just me. Now I get it. It's rose gold, so it kind of matches the indices a little bit better maybe. But for me, here's the ticket. Look at that bad boy. Now, it's not completely dark in here, but you get what I'm saying. Even so, think about how good that would be at night. Oh boy. I think it's super cool. That's the bezel I would pick out of the two if it were me. However, I get it. It's almost as though, you know, it's a little tough. It's kind of gold around the indices. So does the gold in the bezel match better than the white in the bezel? I don't know. I kind of go back and forth. I like the lumed bezel, so I kind of have to err on the side of the lumed bezel. I don't know. You let me know down below. Green or Batman? Comment down below. Let me know your thoughts on this watch. If you are interested, please hit me up. It is for sale at a very reasonable price. The list price on this thing is like $2,100. We are significantly below that by $500 or more, right? So yes, it's significantly less, and it's August of 2023, I think it is. So I have the full kit, box papers, all that stuff. I think it was from August of 2023. So it's not that old, and it hasn't been worn that much. So basically like new. All right. Thanks a lot, everyone. I know this ran long, but kind of a fun watch.